Right, welcome back to the channel. So today what we're doing, we're going to take you guys through the process of a driver fitting. So not for myself, but we've got a special guest, my dad.
Evening.
So a bit about you, Dad. You play a bit.
Bits.
Not very often.
Not very often. Not as often as I'd like to.
No, so, and handicap?
14.
So what we're going to do, obviously Dad, at the minute you've got and what a lot of people do, yeah, you've got a driver kind of off the shelf.
Yes.
Yeah, so not fitted, not custom fitted,
Yeah.
which is something a lot of people tend to do. They just want to go for the cheap option, get a driver for 100 quid, yeah, and get it off the shelf. So it's not custom fitted. So I want to kind of share with you guys who are maybe thinking about having a custom fitting session yourself about what the benefits are and actually get some numbers from someone who's so get those numbers from someone who's in that at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so gonna get you to warm up. Just hit some shots with your wedges and your 7-irons, because too many people go in no warm up and just want to whack drivers straight away, and it's very important that we don't do that. So while Dad's just gonna warm himself up, we'll see him hit a couple of shots and go from there. First, we're going to get, Dad's warmed up, ready, loose, which is really important to do. Not a lot of people do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to get Dad to hit some shots with his current driver. What is the current driver? What is it?
I don't know. It's tailor-made, jet speed, 10.5, slightly higher.
Okay.
I don't know what that means.
So we'll get some shots of this so you can see this now. But yeah, so jet speed, tailor-made in 10.5 degrees. Looks like it's lofted up as well to 12 degrees. And it's a light shaft, so regular but 49 grams. So that's quite light. You usually see shafts 60 to 70 grams.
Right.
So quite a light shaft. So that's going to get some shots. We're going to use the GC2 to get some numbers, because obviously when you're custom fitting you need numbers. And then fit in with some clubs, some other drivers, and basically see if we can get more distance with the driver, because ultimately that's what we're going for. So Dad's gonna get some shots and we're gonna go from there. Right, Dad, so hit those, what do we hit, 5?
5.
Let's have a look at the numbers. Ooh. So hopefully you guys can see on there. So club head speed, we're averaging 82, okay, which I reckon we can get up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, with a ball speed of 119. Back spin was pretty good, so we're on 2,100, which is quite good. So the optimum spin is between 2,200 to 4.
Right.
So the spin's actually good. And then we're carrying it average of 185 to an average of 208. But actually, if I delete the last one, because that wasn't a good one, that carry goes back up to 212. I'm sorry, total distance goes to 212. So really try and see if we can up the club head speed. That ups the ball speed, which ups the distance. So that jet speed, I don't know when it was made, but it was quite a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was when the slider was in, so potentially like 2014, 2015.
Right.
So it's fairly old, 5 to 6 years old.
Yeah.
So we're going to give what we've got here. We've got Ping, we've got Callaway, and we've got Cobra. So we're going to test those clubs and just see which one comes out best for you. Yeah?
Cool.
Okay. Right, so we're going Ping first. So Ping plus head, the G410. We're going to stick you in the same loft that you had. So I'll pop you on 12 degrees. All right. Right. Just because I know you were saying earlier that launch was a bit low.
Yep.
It was going a bit lower than you liked. So obviously up in the loft helps with that. So we'll pop you in 12 degrees, Ping G410 plus, and get you to hit some. Right, and Dad, so Ping 410.
Right.
Initial thoughts, please.
Well, there's a lot more going on down there. It's a lot busier.
Yes.
Sort of like aerodynamic things, I would imagine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is nice, but not too off-putting. Looking at it, it's not making me think, oh, what's that?
Yeah.
Feels a bit heavier.
Yeah. So that's a 55 gram weight shaft. So it's
Right.
only 6 grams heavier than your jet speed, but the jet speed's just a really light shaft. But that's your kind of standard ping driver shaft. So what we'll do, we'll get you to hit some and see if there's any differences, basically. Yeah. Right, there we go. We've hit, what, 5 shots?
Yeah.
Initial thoughts of the club?
No, it's all right. I can. Yeah, it feels. It does. You can feel the weight in the end.
And is that a good thing or a bad thing, though?
Don't know.
Just
yeah, it's not made a huge amount of difference.
Yeah. Okay.
In how it feels when I swing.
Yeah, sure.
It's gone a little bit further.
So have a look at the numbers. So clubhead speed with your driver was 82.6.
Yeah.
The average of yours, well, with the ping is 85.9. So we're getting 3 miles an hour more clubhead speed, potentially due to the aerodynamics of what the club says.
Yeah.
But that's very hit and miss. But clubhead speed's quicker. Spin rate is very similar. Again, so kind of 2,000 revs there. Carry actually wasn't that much different, but again, what I'll do is I'll delete one of the bad ones like we did with your driver.
Yeah.
And then it does go up a little bit, but not a lot. We're still only getting, total distance is only changing by, what's that, 7 yards?
Yeah. Carry.
Yeah, 7 yards of total distance. So we're getting a little bit more, but we need even more. You can see the ball speed there's jumped from 123 to 119, or 119 to 123. So we're definitely seeing improvements, but there's more.
Yeah, backspin is less, isn't it?
Yes, but that's not too bad.
No, right,
Not too bad. 1900 there.
Oh, right, that's
average.
Total spin, right? Okay.
Yeah, 1900 average. Yeah. So yeah, that's the total spin,
yeah,
which is fine.
Yeah.
So right, we're gonna maybe do a little bit of tinkering with the ping, or we'll try a Callaway and a Cobra and see what that does. Okay, so we're now going Callaway. So the new Maverick range, which literally just came out about a month ago. So we're going Maverick Max head, which is the bigger head, slightly more forgiving, also a bit more loft, like you said, to help you get that ball up in the air. And we popped a 50 gram regular shaft in there, so more towards the weight that you had with your TaylorMade, so it might feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay. So we'll hit this one and give it a go. Initial thoughts, just holding the club, a couple of swings.
Yeah, shiny.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Different look to the ping, very much so.
Yeah. And is that a good, better, or a...
Yeah, I'm not great how it looks. Not
Yes,
bothers
fine.
me. If
A lot,
if
not
a
good.
wedge, I get bothered by a wedge's face, but nothing else really.
Yeah.
It feels like the weight is more, don't know,
Yeah.
evenly balanced across the whole club.
Okay, so whereas the ping maybe...
Felt more heavy at the end.
Okay.
This one feels sort of like more joint actually.
Okay, cool.
That means.
Yeah, fine. Right. As you were saying, I don't know if the other camera picked it up, but potentially your favourite feeling
Yeah, it feels
driver.
nice. This one. Yeah, I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why, but
No,
it feels
just does.
all nice and connected.
Yeah, that's fine. So numbers wise, we reached a peak of our clubhead speed, so an average of 86.1, and we also got a 90 mile an hour clubhead speed, which is our fastest one, like top out.
Yeah.
With the fastest ball speed as well, so 124.8. So we're getting faster in general.
Yeah.
Really good spin, 2,100. So your spin is always not a problem because you hit that little draw.
Yeah.
So really spin isn't a problem for you, which is good. And then this is where we see the difference really in the Maverick or the Callaway driver. So we're now averaging a carry of 202 out to 226. Whereas your driver and the ping were carrying a good 8 to 12 yards under the 200 mark. Yeah. So with their top out there of 231. So better. So we're gaining yardage for sure, but we'll may have a little tinker with the Callaway and see if we can get any more, or we'll have a look at the Cobra next and see if that brings out any more numbers.
Yep.
Right, so we are moving on to Cobra. So again, very new. This is the Cobra Speed Zone Extreme head, and I've popped it into 12 degrees. Extreme, very similar to what Callaway say with Max. It's just a bigger head, slightly more forgiving. The center of gravity is moved back into the head. So again, for loft purposes, to get up in the air quicker.
Okay.
Often the smaller heads, they pop the weight port in the front. So that helps to get a bit lower. So again, I've put in a very similar shaft. It just says something different on it. It's 50 grams regular.
Right.
So with Ping, their lights is 55. Well, that I've got. So we'll pop you in a similar shaft and the same loft. So it's literally just how this driver performs. This is a weird one. And you can show it here. So Cobra have the face is milled. So it's not a face insert, which other drivers are. So they make the insert of the face and put it on. Whereas this is, you have the whole club head and then they grind this milling out on the face. They say that's just to keep ball speeds across the face better, basically. But it's quite an interesting concept. Right, again, initial thoughts to the Cobra.
Yeah.
Looks, can't tell the difference.
Again, I don't mind. There's nothing there to bother me. So it doesn't, the front, like you say, the face is quite weird. We don't tend to stare at the face. So
no.
It's not really going to be bothering me.
But feel-wise, doesn't...
It feels a little heavier than the last one.
Okay, it's interesting.
But
yeah.
Not hugely, probably isn't much.
Yeah,
that's right, it's all right.
Okay. Say that actually because it's interesting. So we were just discussing there, kind of made a joke that he hasn't hit the centre of the club face, but you can see there actually pattern wise it's so consistent, it's all high toe, which explains why the ball goes a little bit left. If you hit it off the toe, basically simple terms, gear effect kicks in, which makes the club face turn a little bit. So that's why you get that kind of right to left shape.
Yeah.
That's just because of strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing other than strike. If your strike there moved to Hayle, that part of the face, then the ball flight would be different. So it's actually just your strike pattern that's affecting the balls. But actually for driver, high toe is actually quite good. Right. So I'd never complain with a high toe. So look at numbers. So club head speed, 85.5. So again, very similar with kind of the Ping, the Callaway and the Cobra. Club head speeds have been very similar, as well as ball speeds. Ball speed there is 124, and spin good again, 2,100. With the Cobra, we're averaging 200 yards of carry, so 2 yards less than the Maverick. Okay, so 200 yards of carry with a total distance of 223, so 3 yards less than the Maverick. Yeah. So very similar, but definitely the Maverick and the Cobra seem to be outperforming the Ping. Yeah. And your driver especially, because your driver, if we have a look back at the numbers at the start, your driver total was 212. Yeah. So with the Callaway and the Cobra, you've been 226 and 223. Yeah. So you've been kind of that 10 to 13 yards extra. Yeah. Which when you go on the golf course, what's 10 to 13 yards extra, club to a club and a half less into the green potentially. Yeah. So we'll hit some more. What would you say has been your favourite one in general?
It's either the Maverick or the Cobra.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Ping really, because the Ping felt like everything was down the end. Okay.
As in the weight.
Weight-wise.
Yeah. Fine.
So therefore, when it's swinging through, you're almost. Yeah. It's difficult. I don't know. Maybe it's.
It doesn't matter because with a fit, and I get these things all the time where they kind of go. I ask these questions to gauge a feel from the player. Yeah. It doesn't matter what the feel is or that they struggle to describe it. Any feel is important, because if you have a feeling on the golf course where you're not keen on the club or you don't like the feeling, it's going to play with your mind even if it doesn't actually do anything. Yeah. So we'll hit some more shots with the Callaway and Cobra. Yeah, because they're your two favourites. See if we can get any more distance out of it. I'll try and tinker with the club ever so slightly to see if I can gauge anything. Lovely. And go from there. Right, so we're just hitting some more shots here with the Callaway, so the Maverick Max and the Cobra, because Dad was saying those are his favourite two really, out of the three we tested. So we're going to get some more numbers. We're going to see if there's much difference between the two, because at the minute, what is it, 3 yards?
3 yards.
Which is minimal. So we'll get some more numbers and try and see if we can have a more, better average. And that's the average golfer. That's why we have average golfers in here. But that's what happens. Unfortunately, any new driver, if it's worth £2,000, isn't going to stop that, is it? Okay, so we're going to conclude. So that was the last shot with the Cobra there.
Yep.
Let's have a look at numbers. So we hit more with the Callaway and the Cobra just because they were the favourite two.
Yep.
So let's see what the numbers are. So Callaway average of club head speed 87 miles an hour with a ball speed of 126. Okay. And then total distance, let's just go to that bit, 224 yards. All right.
Right.
Moving down to the Cobra. 86 average miles an hour club head speed. So again, really similar. 125 mile an hour ball speed. Again, very, very similar. Totaling out to 223.
Yeah.
So there's a yard in it. Okay. The reason why there's a bit more roll with the Cobra is it's spinning a bit less.
Right.
But it's spinning at a good spin anyway. So 2.3.
Right.
So 1 yard in it. What have we at there? About 8 with each one.
Yep.
So a yard in it for you, right? If you had to choose,
Yes.
which one are you going for?
I go for the Cobra.
You're going for Cobra.
Not because it's a little bit less, but I know, as we've talked about this,
Yeah.
it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, it is cheaper. Yeah,
And you said it's about £100 cheaper.
£100 cheap, which is big.
Yeah.
For
So £100 for a yard.
yeah, no, it's a no-brainer, isn't it? Yeah, 100%. And yeah, even though that is yes, the Callaway is a little bit further. So some might say, well, I'll go for the furthest one. But actually, when you go out on the golf course, there's too many variables to go. This Callaway will go 1 yard further. There's too many. You could have a great bounce, the wind, blah blah blah. So there's too many variables for 1 yard. If we hit tomorrow 20 balls with each, the Cobra might be 2 yards further tomorrow because it's a different day. So really, Cobra's kind of coming out on top.
And plus that offline thing.
Yes, yeah.
I actually hit it more central with it.
Yeah, so actual dispersion with the Cobra was better.
Yeah.
So that does help. We want to hit more fairways as well as hitting distance. So comparing that to your speed, whatever it is, comparing that to the jet speed, we're getting pretty decent gains, aren't we? Because what was our jet speed average? So the average with the jet speed was 212 carry.
Yeah.
Not carry, sorry, total distance, 212 total distance, and we were now getting 223. So we're getting in kind of 10, 11 yards, so extra. Yeah. Maybe not as extra as some might think, but...
No, I also think, your swing makes a lot of it, your back makes a lot of it, but I actually feel this one, I can hit with confidence. I felt that with the Maverick, but...
You said that you could potentially try and swing that harder?
Yes.
Yeah?
Which... I think there's more to give on this one.
Yeah? More than maybe you would like with the jet speed?
Oh yeah, I can. That jet speed is learned to hit it as I do to make the best I can get out of it.
Yeah.
But this one I would like to swing like a wild thing.
Yeah, cool. So, enjoyed that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Very good.
Informative?
Very good.
But it's so important. I know we only got 10, 11 yards more, but that is a club, right? That is a club difference.
Well, fitting also is important. I mean, before when I had my, my driver fitted a long time ago, my ping, it made a huge difference, and the same with this. Yeah,
absolutely. It's so important to get custom fit. If you're looking at buying a driver and let's say you don't want to spend what it is with a custom fit. I know custom fit can be more expensive, but if you play a lot of golf and it's your hobby, it's actually going to do you the world of good to get custom fit.
By the time you buy 2 drivers, because you bought off the shelf, they don't work.
Yeah, and then you try and flog them on eBay and you get half of what you actually paid for it. In the long run, you spending £300 to £400 on a driver, that's going to last you such a long time, isn't it? Yeah. As soon as you get a custom fit driver, that's going to last you ages. So bite the bullet. If you're looking at a driver, get down to your local pro, get custom fitted. If you're local to me, come to me and get custom fitted at Hayle, because it does make a big difference. So thanks very much for watching. Thank you, Dad, for coming down and being the average golfer for the day. And I'll see you. And I will see you next time.